Today we're going to take a deep dive into the magical world of beer making. Have you ever stopped to wonder how that frothy, amber liquid ends up in your glass? Well, wonder no more. First, let's start with the main ingredient in beer, grain. Most commonly, brewers use barley, but wheat, rice, and other grains can also be used. The grains are malted, which means they are soaked in water and allowed to germinate or sprout. This process activates enzymes that will later convert the grain's starches into sugar. Next, the grains are roasted to give beer its color and flavor. The longer the grains are roasted, the darker the beer will be. Now it's time for the mashing process. The malted grains are ground into a coarse flour called grist, and mixed with hot water to create a porridge-like substance called mash. This mash is then heated and stirred to allow the enzymes from the malting process to convert the starches into sugars. After mashing, the sugary liquid is separated from the grains in a process called lautering. This liquid, called wort, is then boiled in a large kettle with hops. Hops are the flowers of a vine plant, and they add bitterness and aroma to the beer. Different hop varieties can give beer different flavors, from citrusy to piney to floral. Once the boiling is complete, the wort is cooled and transferred to a fermentation tank. Yeast is added to the wort, and this is where the magic happens. The yeast eats the sugars and produces alcohol and carbon dioxide. The type of yeast used in the fermentation temperature will determine the type of beer being made. After fermentation, the beer is either transferred to a conditioning tank or directly to kegs or bottles. During conditioning, the beer matures and any remaining yeast settles to the bottom of the tank. And that, my friends, is how beer is made. From grain to glass, it's a complex and fascinating process. So the next time you take a sip of that frothy brew, remember all the hard work and dedication that went into making it. Cheers! And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.